Okay, amazing. Thank you both. So hi, thank you so much for taking the time. Really, really lovely to meet you through the digital sphere. I'd like to know how your kind of isolation has been, but how were you dealing with isolation when it was in full flux, I should say?
So I think, first of all, I have to say we've been moving quite smoothly through the situation on a personal and also on a business level. So Germany has been able to maneuver quite smoothly. So we didn't have, these big, very, very strict lockdowns. Yes, we had limited, contact, and we closed down the office, sent people into home office. But this was only over a period of 3 to 4 weeks. Now, since 2-3 weeks now, the office has reopened. We were also very, very lucky, I have to say, in terms of our whole supply chain. So we produce in Vietnam, which was barely affected by the coronavirus so far. And also, our deliveries schedule and everything, we maneuvered, right through there. So, actually this season we were even quicker than in the last seasons, to do our samples, shoot our lookbook. So we're way ahead of the game. We finished everything already, so we're super excited to start the season.
What a bit of luck.
Yeah.
How have you kind of been keeping creative? Because obviously there's been some slight limitations, but what have you been doing to kind of flex the creative muscles in this time?
I think I think the most important thing, we stayed positive from the beginning on, and I think creation and creativeness comes with that, right? Because if you block down, you're like, oh my gosh, where are we gonna go? How is this gonna end? So we really always planned everything in order how it used to be, right? A little bit, obviously taking in consideration that fashion has changed and thinking about those kind of things. So we just wanted to stay open-minded. We talked a lot with our creative director, who was also in Germany, so we were able to meet up and do like workshops and brainstorms, so we could still do that, which was very good in this time as well. So we actually had more time to spend because everything else was a little bit like blocking down. So it was really nice because we could spend a lot on the creative part this time.
Have you noticed any changes, anything that you're like, actually we'll take this going forward, or anything that sparked a new idea that probably wouldn't have come about otherwise?
Well, what we did, we tried to use the extra time, as Lili said, to work on product, to work on, also getting a different angle and a different view on what we did in the past and what we want to do in the future. Since we don't have to travel right now, we can travel. We use that time. I guess for the future, for us, it will be important always to challenge what we do. And what we're definitely, moving ahead, what we already did now for this season is we spent this time working on a whole series of digital assets, to be able to, spread the news and make the product more, let's say, accessible and understandable for people who have not, seen the physical product so far. And the other thing we did is we used this time, to work on strategy, but also on cooperations. So we basically nailed down 3-4 major corporations now for this and for next year. So we've done our homework and we're working ahead of schedule, which is quite cool, actually.
That's brilliant. That's really brilliant. You mentioned creating digital assets. What's the process of that? I know that you had a slightly more relaxed experience, and it's a lot easier when you two work together and live together. But how did you go about creating digital assets?
I think because normally we really focused on just the campaign, right? So it was all about lookbook and everything. And this time we really had the challenge, and we asked ourselves this already when Corona started and even before, right? With people not really traveling already in January and everything. I mean, we're selling a bag, right? I mean, VeeCollective is the lightest tote on the market. So how can we actually show that to buyers, to people, to end consumers, to everybody? We need 360-degree videos to really show just the product itself. We need to show the product much more on models, you know, like in that sense, so people can see dimensions. But we also need to show the versatility of our bags, what you can really do. So we created really a huge range. So normally we were shooting a campaign a day or two. It really took us 4 days right now in our shooting concept. So we did like every day different digital assets to have them to sell, obviously, to the buyers, but also then afterwards to have them to communicate to consumers. And I think it's absolutely the right way to go.
It's really interesting how it sounds like you've adapted so well to all these kind of new folds and new challenges in life, just kind of 360 and adapting and thinking about the weight of something as well in digital space is so fascinating.
It was a lot of long, not sleeping nights, to be honest. I mean, it sounds really easy at the end. And yes, we're finished with it. But I guess it's also when you have the time to reflect and strategically see what is really important for this brand and how are we going to make this brand even stronger, to come out even stronger out of this time. We really sat down and tried to focus on it. And then we have a great team that we've been working on a couple of years. So it was a lot of that relationship that we built in the last couple of years that now were more important than ever before, right? Because we could make it happen all together to get everything ready. We have beginning of June and we're completely finished with all of our material for spring, summer.
Which is amazing. Amazing.
Well, we'll see, right? People have to judge whether we actually manage, you know, to fulfill our task, but we're quite optimistic. We're a growing brand, right? So it's all about, you know, where do you put your investment? Where do you invest into? So a lot of these things we didn't do in the past because it was not so necessary. Then we saw now the situation where we felt the urge, you know, and the necessity, you know, to create these assets because it always also comes with a big cost. And then another thing we did, we built an Instagram page solely for buyers. So a buyer's only Instagram page where we present only the new collection, which is quite cool because everybody, you know, is used to making their buying decisions from Instagram. Everybody knows how it works, how they can move around. And we just thought, okay, why don't we build something only for the season? Kind of as an alternative to your regular PDF lookbook, and have that on Instagram. So we'll share that soon.
That's clever. I like it. That's really smart. But you're so right. It's how everyone's interacting now anyway, so it makes total sense. And do you feel like you'll be taking some of these ideas, these new creations, these kind of adapting, like the Instagram, for example, into the future? Is there anything you thought, actually, this worked exceptionally well? Let's take this and move forward post-corona, post-isolation?
I really think, or we think, things have changed, right? So I think we need to take everything into the future, right? This is not just a one-off, okay, now we need much more digital assets because we can't show in a physical showroom. I think this is just a mindset that all of us, like for us, it's clear. Every collection we're going to present is going to be done with innovative ways in this way, right? I mean, we will never go back. It's just looking into the future. For us, I mean, there's no way, we're not going back. I mean, we can just add on and do it even better, right? So this was just the start.
I think that's a lovely note to end on. Thank you both so much for taking the time to speak to me. It was really a pleasure to get to know you.
We are VeeCollective, and this is our designer interview. Thank you very much for watching.